You said you want to wait?
No,
Oh, yeah, let's do it. All right. Okay, so plan for today, just so you know, test corrections have started. If you want to come in next week, you can do advisory. Any day is fine with me. But if you're going to come after school, remember it's Mondays, Thursdays. Okay? All right, and then I think I talked to y'all about this last time, but don't wait until after Thanksgiving break to do test corrections because I'll probably be out with baby already. Okay? All right, let's do some questions. Maybe we don't even have to do them all. Here we go. Okay, at the top. Last time you learned that logs and exponentials are inverses. Okay, and what you should know about inverses is that inverses cancel each other out. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, last time we were just writing log, but we weren't putting this little number. But every log should have a little number attached to it. And here's what happens. If you have a log little 3 on a big 3, they cross out because they're inverses. So these would cross out and you would just keep the A. Easy?
the only 3 or any.
Any number. As long as the log little and the big are the same, they cross out. So for the next one, I have a log little 5 next to a big 5, cross them out. Only the 2x plus 7 would survive. Now notice on the third one, the big 7 comes first, the log little 7 comes second, it doesn't matter, they still cross out. So big 7, log little 7 cross out, you would just keep the 3c. Yes? You wouldn't. The log little cancels out with the big. Okay? So here's how you're going to solve these types of equations. Okay, if you have a log little 3 or a log little 2, you are going to raise both sides of the equation to the same base as the log. And log and exponentials of the same base cancel out. Okay, then you're going to solve using common base. Okay, and so now let's solve number 1. So what is your log little number? Log little 3. How do I get rid of a log little 3? I'm going to use a big 3. So put a big 3 here, big 3 here. Then remember what I said, a big 3 on a log little 3 is going to cross out. And now I have 81 equals 3 to the x. Okay, then from here, you're going to go back to what we did 2 classes ago, which I guess I should have told you to get out your notes. But do you remember the notes with that chart on it that have all the different bases? Will you pull that out? If you can't find yours, I do have extra, but I'll put one up here for the notes part. Yes. This one like that looks like this, and then when you look inside, it had that chart at the top. Okay. But if you can't find yours, I'll give you an extra copy when we finish the notes. So I'm looking for 81 in the 3s chart. 81 in the 3s chart. So here's my chart if you haven't found yours. 81 is the same as what? 3 to the 4. And if 3 to the 4 equals 3 to the x, then now that I have the big matching 3s, what am I allowed to do with it from those notes? Cross them out, and 4 equals x. Okay? All right, take a look at the next one. I have a log little 2, and I want to get rid of it. How do I get rid of a log little 2? Big 2. And what happens when I big 2 on a log little 2? And I'm just going to keep the 8 equals 2 to the x minus 6. Then I'm going to go to my chart and try to convert 8 into a base 2. So let me put my chart up here in case you couldn't find yours. Okay, 8 is the same as what power? 2 to the 3. And if 2 to the 3 is 2 to the x minus 6, now that I peeped that those 2's match, I can cross them out. So I would have 3 equals x minus 6. And then what would my last step be to solve there? Plus the 6 across, so your x would be 9. Okay. All right, let's do the next one. I have a log little 2, and I want to get rid of a little 2. How do I do it? Big 2 on both sides. And when I big 2 on a log little 2, they're going to cross out. I have 1 equals 2 to the x. Now, I'm going to show you on your notes. I don't know if you remember this special case, but remember that if you're trying to get a 1, do you remember you can put a 0 on whatever base that you want? So I'm going to use this special rule and say that if I want this to be a 1, I can make it a 2 to the 0. And then from there, I have those matching 2's, cross them out, x equals 0. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Skip ahead for me, please, to number 6. I have a log little 5, and I want to get rid of it. How do I get rid of a log little 5? Big 5. So my big 5 on my log little 5 are going to cross out. I have root 5 equals 5 to the x. Last class, we talked about that a square root is really a special power. Do you remember which one?
Or 1/2.
1/2. Very good. So remember that a square root is really a 5 to the half. And now that I have the common base 5's, I can cross them out. And then my x would equal what? Perfect. So it's kind of making sense so far? All right, let's do one more with a square root. Let's do number 8. Okay, how do I get rid of a log little root 10? Big root 10. So a log little root 10, I'm going to big root 10 on both sides. And a big root 10 on a log little root 10 would cross out. I'd just keep the 10,000 equal to the root 10 to the x. Now, for the 10, if it's in a square root, that means what power is really there that we just used? A half. So this is really 10 to the half x in parentheses. And then on your notes, I'll put mine up here, but we want to turn 10,000 into a base 10. So here's my chart. Do you see 10,000 on there? It's 10 to the what? 10 to the 4. And now that I have those matching base 10's, I can cross them out and just set the tops equal. So I'd have 4 equals half of an x. Half means divide by 2. How do I undo a divide by 2? Times 2. So my 2 and my half would cross out, x would equal 8. We doing okay? All right, let's come back to one that had a fraction. Let's do number 5. So right above that. How do I get rid of a log little 5? Big 5. So put a big 5 on both sides. And a big 5 on a log little 5 cross out. So I have 1 over 125 is 5 to the x. Okay, then from there, I'm looking for this number in the 5's chart. So let me put my chart up here for you. Okay, 125 is the same as what power for 5? 3. Do you remember, though, what to do if it's a fraction? What are you?
You have to, it has to be a negative.
You put a negative on it. Good. So you're still going to go to 5 to the 3, but you're going to make it a -3. Okay, and so I'll put a little note there. Use neg because fraction. Okay, and hopefully you know what that means. Okay, but remember, if it's a number on the bottom and I want to use a common base, I just put a negative on whatever the exponent is. Now that those fives match, cross them out. What does x equal? -3, correct. Go ahead and turn the page. All right. On the next page, let's do number 10. How do I get rid of a log little 8? Big 8. So I'm going to do big 8 here, big 8 here. My big 8 on my log little 8 are going to cross out. That just leaves me with the 5x plus 1 equals 8 to the 3. Okay, now something I want to point out to you. In all the examples we just did, do you remember that your x, let me just show you real quick, how it was always like the x was like little up top like this, okay, or little up top like this. So you'll notice that on this question, that's just a regular x. Then I want to turn this back into just a regular number too. Your chart can go both ways. So look at your chart for 8 to the 3. What number is that the same as? Okay, 8 to the 3 is the same as 512. Now, if you want to just type that into the calculator, it'll give you 512, but the chart just kind of shortcuts it. So my 8 to the 3 is a 512, and then what would I do to solve from there? So 512 take away 1 would be 511. And then divide by 5. And if it'll divide evenly, do it. But if it won't, just leave it as a fraction. So your x would be 511 over 5. Okay, take a look at number 11. I've got logs on both sides, and they're both log little 3s. How do we cross out a log little 3? Use a big 3. And because I have log littles on both sides, all that is going to cross out on the left. And all of that is going to cross out on the right. And then from there, I could just kind of keep solving. So which x do we want to get rid of? Okay, you could do either one. I'll minus usually the smaller one. So we'll minus the 2x across. What is 4x take away 2x? 2x minus 1. What's my next step? Add the 1 across. Very good. 7 plus 1 gives me 2x equals 8. Close? 4. Divide the 2 across, you'll get x equals 4. All right. So far, we're doing okay? All right, last little bit of this. So if you remember, last class, we learned 3 rules for logs. They were all kind of weird, okay, but I'm going to remind you what they are, and then we're going to solve this with them. This doesn't get much harder than what you already know how to do. Okay, so if you have a log of A plus a log of B, do you remember that you can squish them into the same log by multiplying the A and the B together? Do you remember doing that last time? Good. Okay, now what if my log A and B are minus? You would divide. Very good. So if I had a log A minus a log B, and I want to put them back into sharing the same log, I would log A over B. And you'd be dividing. Okay, the last rule is that if you have a front number, you can float it up to the top as an exponent. So if I have an n log A, I can pop that n up to be a power on the A. Okay, and then Molly, I'm sure you're confused, but we did this last class. So just hang in there.
Just hang.
And then we'll get you caught up. Okay, so take a look at number 11. I have a log little 8, but then I have another log little 8. I have to get them into the same log to be able to cross them out. Their logs are currently added. I have to multiply to combine. So what is 6x if I multiply it with a 2.
Okay.
So this is really a log 8 of a 12x. And then from there, you're going to solve it the exact same way you already know how to do. So how do I get rid of a log little 8?
Big 8.
Big 8. Okay, good. Then my big 8 and my log little 8 cross out. I just keep the 12x. And then when I notice that my 12x is regular size, I want to turn my 8 squared back into a regular number. 64. You can look it up in your chart or just type it into the calculator. Either one of those is fine. So 8 squared here is 64. So I have 12x equals 64. We use the chart for that. And then what would my last step be? Divide by 12.
Leave it at the fraction.
Yeah, just leave it as a fraction. Now I think 64 over 12 will reduce. It'll go to 16 thirds. But y'all should know if you just type it into the pretty fraction on the calculator, it'll fix it for you.
Okay, so wait, how do you determine? Leave it as a fraction.
If you type it into Delta Math and it counts it wrong, just check if the fraction reduces. Because the reason that happens is that 64 and 12 can both divide by 4. But the calculator will do it for you. So I'd say most of the time it probably won't reduce, but if it does, just check it. Okay? All right, now take a look at number 12. Number 12, I still have 2 logs, but what's the operation in between them? And for subtraction, how can I squeeze them into the same log? Divide. What is 10x divided by 2? 5x. So it'll be log little 5 of a 5x equal to a 3. And then once they're sharing the same log, now I can get rid of a log little 5 by applying a
Big 5.
big 5. So my big 5 log little 5 cross out. I have 5x equals, and then I really wish my 5 to the 3 was just a regular number. Because I have a regular 5x on the left, then I need this to be a regular number as well. So look up in your chart. What is 5 to the 3 in your chart? 125, very good. And then if 5x is 125, I can just divide that 5 across. Uh-huh. Because you're applying a big 5 as the base on the 3. Does that make sense? Okay, let's take a look at number 13. Before I combine my 2 logs, do I have a number I can float up to the top? Look at 13. Which number can I bump up?
Oh, 2.
The 2. So cross your 2 out and make it a squared. So now here's what you have. You have a log 4 plus a log x squared. Because I can't have a front number here if I want to combine those logs. So remember the property that if you have a front number, you can pop it up to the top. Okay? So now that I've moved my front number up, what am I going to do to get those logs together if they're, because right now they're added. Very good. So what is 4 times x squared? 4x squared. Okay, and then I forgot to fill in this blank for you, but right here, I kind of scribbled on it. Do you see where it says, if no base is listed, the base is automatically a 10. Okay, so fill in that little blank here. That if you ever have on your homework or review no little number listed, it counts as a 10. So now that we know that, this log doesn't have a base, that means it's a little 10. How do we get rid of a little 10? We do a big 10. And then my big 10 on my log little 10 will cross out. I have 4x squared equals, and then 10 squared, but Because I want my x to be just a regular x, I want 10 squared back to a regular number, which is 100. And then you'll just keep solving from there. So I have 4x squared equals 100. We used our chart for that. What would my next step be?
Square root.
We are going to square root, but not yet. Let's get rid of the 4 first. What is 100 divided by 4? So x squared is 25. And now we'll square root. What's the square root of 25?
5.
And remember, it should be plus or minus 5. Because remember, if it's squared, you should get 2 answers. So plus 5 and minus 5. Make sense? All right, turn the page. We'll do maybe 2 more. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, let's do number 16. Can you pull any front numbers up, please?
2.
Okay, number 16, pull any front numbers up. So yes, we're talking about the 2. Y'all give me just 1 sec to do this real quick. Or update. All right, Stephanie, it should let you log into AP Classroom, and then it should show the assignment. Refresh it. And then some of the answers will be formatted weird. Pick, like if you picked B, keep picking B, even if it looks weird.
Well, the lots always the same. Equations.
Yeah, you can't combine them if they're not the same. All right, so we're doing 16. We said we're moving this 2 up. All right, so here's what we have so far. Log little 6 of 17 plus log little 6 of x minus log little 6 of 4 squared. What is 4 squared the same as? What number? 16. Very good. Equals 3. Now, Lachey asked a good question that I haven't really talked about. If all the little numbers aren't the same, you can't combine them anyways. So they should all be the same if you're trying to solve. Okay, from here, I have 3 logs. I want to put them all together into the same log. So can you tell me from last class, which of those things, the 17, the x, or the 16, which one should end up on the bottom of the fraction?
16.
Good. So the 17 and the x are multiplied, but the 16 has to go on the bottom. Okay, and again, why is that? Because pluses get multiplied, minuses get divided when you combine. From here, how do I get rid of a log little 6? Big 6. So my big 6 and my log little 6 cross out. I'm going to keep this little fraction here. So it's a 17x over 16. And then if this is a 6 to the 3, I need that to go back to a regular number. That's where you have your chart. So 6 to the 3. Can we see it on here? 216, that's right. So I have 17x over 16 equals 216. Okay, how do I get rid of a divide by 16? Okay, and then somebody, we're going to need to have a calculator on this. Okay, what is 216? Say it again. 3,456. Thank you. Okay, and then from there, we're almost done solving. We still have to get rid of that times 17. How do we do it? Divide. And I am assuming that probably will not. So your answer would just be that fraction. Will it divide? Okay. So 3456 over 17. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, last question we're going to do together. Bottom row, we'll do the one on the left. Okay, how do I get rid of a log little 2? Big 2. And then a big 2 on a log little 2 are going to cross out. So we have 2x squared minus 2x equals now a 2 to the 2. Remember, in this case, if your x isn't little, you want this to be regular as well. So what is 2 squared the same as? What number? Okay. Now, if you're trying to solve this, what you should notice is that that's an AC chart, but your 4 is on the wrong side. You can't AC chart with stuff on both sides. So if I want that 4 to come across and be with everybody else, it's going to turn to a minus. That's right. So I'm going to have 2x squared minus 2x minus 4 equals 0. Have a great week. Okay, now, should I, yes or no, AC chart right now?
No, cause no.
If everything can divide by the same thing, remember, you should do it.
Okay.
So we're going to divide these all by 2. So that's going to give me a 1x squared minus a 1x minus a 2. And then label your ABC, set up your chart. So I need numbers that will multiply to 2 and subtract to 1. The only way to times to 2 is 1 times 2, but where should I put the negative? Because I'm trying to keep a -1 in the basement. On which one? 2. Because you want the bigger one to be negative to keep the bottom number negative. So I'd have an x plus 1 and an x minus 2. Remember, though, your answers will come out reverse of that. So a plus 1 would turn to a -1. And a -2 would turn to a +2. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have 2 options. I'll let y'all pick. We do have one more page. We don't have to do all of them. Can we do them now, or do we want to do a homework and then come back? Do it now? Okay. For this next page, I actually need you to have a calculator, so I'll grab you one if you don't have one. Okay, but go ahead and turn the page. And we're going to do maybe just a couple of these with the calculator. Like that. Same as we use stuff on my mom. But I met Charlie. Hello. Hey. I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, G to 11. Got it. Thank you. Alita, you've been requested to G to 11. It is Miss Brown. She said you don't know her. You know her? Oh, okay. All right. Last page. Okay, the nice thing about this is that really now you're just going the opposite way. That, do you remember if I had a log little 2, I would use a big 2 to cross it out? Yes? Okay, so now, how would I get rid of a big 2? Log little. So rewrite this question for me. To get rid of a big 2, you're going to put a log little 2 on both sides. And then what's going to happen is the log little 2 and the big 2.
On the varsity football, if you have not come to the courtyard, you go ahead and grab your hot dogs. We're in the courtyard right now. Senior varsity football. Thank you so much.
Okay. So what happens when we log little 2 on a big 2, we said they do what? They cancel out, thank you. So I have x equals, and then I'm just gonna type this into the calculator. So let me show you how. You are going to push alpha, window, and then do you see where it says log base? Now, you might remember that I told you there's a log button. The problem with that button is that it's gonna assume your base is a 10, and I need both of these boxes. So I can put the little 2 in the little box and the 40 in the other box. So then just type it in, that'll be your answer.
It's up to class.
So log little 2 of 40, that gives me 5.32. That would be your answer.
Alpha plan.
Alpha window. Alpha window 5. All right, let's skip 17. Let's go on to 18. You can have it back. Thank you. All right. Okay, we're almost done. Number 18. How do I get rid of a minus 5? Plus 5. What is 15 plus 5? 20. 4 to the x plus 3 equals 20. Okay, now that all the extra numbers are gone, the next guy I'm trying to get rid of is a big 4. How do I undo a big 4? Log little 4. That's right. So you're going to log little 4 to cross out the big 4 and log little 4 on the 20. And then the x plus 3 will come down and you'll have to type this in to see what it is in the calculator. So remember, it's alpha window 5. That'll give you a log with both boxes in it. And then you're just going to write down that decimal to 2 decimal places. So alpha window 5. I want a 4 in the little box, 20 in the big box. 2.16. And then what's my last step to solve if my x has a plus 3 on it? Minus it. So 2.16 minus 3, that gives me negative 0.8. Okay. You're rounding. I'm pretty sure the homework says hundredths, which is 2 decimals. Okay, let's just do maybe 1 or 2 more from the bottom and then we're done. Let's do number 20. What number do you think I get rid of first? Just take a guess. The minus 8. Very good. How do I get rid of a minus 8? Plus 8. Okay, what is 10 plus 8? Very good. Now, can I get rid of the big 2 yet? Not with a 6 in front. That's a times 6. How do I undo a times 6? Divide by 6. What is 18 divided by 6? 3. And now that I'm down to getting rid of the big 2, how do I get rid of a big 2? I log little 2. And then that's where you'll use your calculator. So I have 3x equals. I'll figure out what this decimal is by typing it in. And then for my last step, I'll divide it by 3. So alpha window log base, 2 in the first box, 3 in the second box is 1.58496. And then I'm going to divide that by 3. So in case you don't know how to do this, for that decimal, if you just push enter on it, it'll copy it for you and then you can divide it by 3. So wait to round until the end. Sometimes your numbers can come out different if you round too early. So 0.52 followed by an 8, what would that round to? 53. Okay. So use the long decimal until you're ready to type your answer in. Okay, last one we'll do is 21. What do you do first? Add the 1. 15 plus 1 makes that a 16. And then now I'm trying to get rid of a big 1/2. To get rid of it, I'm gonna log a little 1/2. And remember, a log little half on a big half is gonna cross out. And then you'll type this into the calculator to know what that decimal is, then divide by 2. So alpha window 5. I'm putting a 1/2 in the little box and a 16 in the big box. Now, if you would rather than putting a 1/2 there, put 0.5, that's the same. It's okay. So that gave me -4. And then divide by 2, what's my final answer? -2. Get the idea? Okay. So then just to kind of give you an idea of the next 2 weeks, I know I've yapped about this for a bit, but probably the last time you'll see me will be before Thanksgiving break. So we're taking one more test on this unit. It won't be next week, but it'll be the following week. So if you're doing test corrections, don't wait till the last minute. Okay? All right, let's get that homework done. You can do it.
This was put in my Chromebook today. I traveled with it, but I put it in my checked bag. And on the way, they just put it on top of myself, and that's when they put it in my computer.
So they looked through your stuff. Did they put, could you tell?
No, listen, it's. Tell the passengers that it's required by law to inspect all checked bags.